are tuned into Coffee with Jalal.
Yalmet to all my viewers and listeners who are watching, around the world. And this is your host, Jalal Larak, for today's show, Coffee with Jalal, with my very, very special good friend and very, you know what? Actually, this is my first time, except last time we just talked for a couple of minutes just to check the sound and everything. But this is my first time I'll be meeting her kind of, face to face. You love her, you know her. It's the one and only Farah Mitha. Yalima Farah.
Not that. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm great.
You look so fresh and so much energy. I can see that.
Well, I'm on a show with you, so I have to be, right? This is so exciting.
Yeah, first of all, those videos, when I was watching, and it was giving me goosebumps. Honestly, what about you?
For me, there's a variety of emotions that I go through when I watch them because it brings back the memories of making the videos, making the songs. Sometimes it's a bit of a roller coaster. But I can laugh it off now. But every time I receive a compliment about the songs, I get kind of butterflies because it's so exciting. And I had no intent, I had no thought that it would be passed along this much. I even just heard that in the African Lethal Brothers online celebrations, they just played the way as well. So I just feel really, really blessed and kind of full of butterflies.
There are so many people are watching, including your friends and your fans and from our Ismaili community and other communities as well. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. What I felt, of course, when I saw you first time, it was at Jubilee Games. Mm-hmm. When I saw you on the stage with with Salim Suleiman, I didn't know who's Farah. I had no idea. So tell us about yourself. When did you start singing?
I started singing really young, as kind of as early as I remember. And then in grade 1, apparently my teacher told my mom that I had a good voice and I should join the choir. So she was like, okay, you can go in the choir. So I did. I was in school choir and Kane choir. And then I did a few little performances, like little coffee houses and stuff during high school and in university. But I didn't start singing professionally until after university. And at that time, it was a decision for me. Do I go to med school or do I pursue music? And, some of you who are watching right now were there during that time when I had to make that decision and probably would have chose differently for me. But I just knew that I kind of looked at my life 30 years from then or 40 years from then, and I could feel the immense regret if I didn't go that route. So I was like, you know what, let me just dive in and see what happens. And I'll let, the universe kind of guide me through whatever I need to do. Right. So that was several years ago. And then I was in Toronto at the time and doing mostly like pop R&B stuff, pop dance stuff. And then, but it wasn't until really a couple years ago, 2017, I guess, that I started doing devotional music. Mm-hmm. And so that started when it was an interesting kind of transitional stage in my life. It was after Dubai. So Dubai was amazing. Definitely one of the best experiences of my life.
Yeah.
And after that, it just kind of, my cousin had a conversation with me. And at the time, some of you watching will remember my artist name was Ferrari.
Yes.
And so in Dubai, they introduced me as Farah Mitha, and my cousin was backstage with me, and she was like, "This is it. No more Ferrari. You're Farah now." And so I was like, "Okay, this is time to go in a different direction."
Yeah.
That's kind of where it all started.
Yeah. Wow. So, did you get any training at all, when you're in Ottawa?
I didn't take singing lessons in Ottawa. No, I started taking singing lessons when I started to do this seriously in Toronto. I just kind of taught myself to sing by listening to my favorite singers on the radio, Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, and then my favorite Bollywood songs. And I just tried to mimic what they were doing. And because I was exposed to a variety of music, I was able to develop kind of different, diverse styles and ways of using my voice that was really interesting. But when I did start taking lessons and I learned how much more you can do with your voice and that it really is an instrument, that just opened up a whole new world. And I'm still learning every day. Like now that I'm in LA, the talent here is phenomenal. So to even be able to share the stage with some of the people here, I constantly feel the need to keep learning and level up, which is very stimulating.
Yeah. So you're talking about like in Jubilee Games, and I think if I just see your career in general, like you were on the stage for the Jubilee Games, then you were on the stage for Jubilee, as we'll talk about like in a few minutes. Then you had beautiful song Guide the Way, the other song Celebration. I think you being blessed to kind of perform in front of Prince Rahim and like the whole Rani family in Portugal. I think you've been one of the blessed person in our community. So then what do you feel what do you feel about this thing, like your parents and everyone, of course, I believe they have a special thinking or like special thought.
All I can say is thank God that there was some sort of success in this way, because, my parents weren't thrilled. And, they're watching right now. So they weren't thrilled that this was the career path that I had chosen. And, I always want to make my parents proud and everybody that has helped raise me proud. And so when I wasn't kind of getting where I wanted to get with my own music, it weighs on me, right? So when Jubilee Games happened and my mom was like, I'm so proud of you, this is so great. It's so fulfilling, not only because it brought so much joy to the Jamaat and the community, but my family. It's nice to feel like they're proud of me and that it's a form of me being able to do music that they can also enjoy. Yeah. And then, moving along with it further, being able to sing in the way I want to sing in my style, but take these spiritual messages that we've been taught since we were kids from, our religion or my other spiritual learning and put them into pop style songs. Yeah. That feels like such a blessing. And I hope that there is a space that continues to open up for that, where people are looking for that and they're sharing that, because the kind of comments I get from the people that have been listening, it's so healing and it brings me so much joy. And that's my only goal ever with doing music and wanting to pursue music was to make a difference in the world, using something that I was passionate about and something that I was good at. So the fact that that's happening now it's almost unreal to me when I think of all these amazing opportunities that I've had. So I feel very blessed. I feel so grateful. And I just hope that the songs continue to bring people joy and peace and whatever else.
So, again, there are so many people are watching. There are so many comments are coming as well. And this broadcast has been live telecast on a Damage Update group as well. Our good friend Riz Jadavji, thank you so much for sharing the group. And there is a man there is a comment from Yasmin Mitha. Who's that? Is that your sister or?
No, we're actually not related. They're good family friends of my parents, and so we all kind of grew up together. I think her parents were in Pakistan for most of my life, but then her and her sister were in Ottawa for a while. So they're just very good family friends, like family. They're like Nides, she also goes by Nides. She's like my older sister.
Okay. So, let's talk about Jubilee Games, because I was there in Jubilee, in Dubai at that time. I was representing Team Canada. And so of course, to be on stage with Salim Suleiman, it's not a piece of cake. You need to be the best of the best. So how come everything came together with them?
So it started with, I had taken the first day off for such a long time. And I was hanging out with my friends. We were in Toronto. We were by the pier. I think it was sometime in May of 2016. I get this phone call from Salima Danani. And she's like, somebody was asking about your number. I didn't really know what she was saying or who she was talking about. She's like, somebody asked for your number. I passed it on. I hope it's okay. It's about, she wasn't very specific. And I was like, okay, no problem. And then my parents were actually in India at the time.
Okay.
And maybe half an hour later, nothing. This has just completely caught me off guard. And I'm getting a phone call from India. So I just assumed it was my parents. Turns out to be Salim Merchant. So I'm like, whoa, okay, hi. And then, so he was very, very nice, but very to the point. He was like, we're doing this song. I think your voice would be perfect for it. Would you be interested? I said, sure. He's like, when can you get into the recording studio? I was like, I'll go right now if you want me to. And he was like, okay, I'll set it up for the next few days. So then I went into the studio, recorded my part. And then he was like, would you like to perform in Dubai with us? I said, absolutely, 100%. So I figured myself out, got myself to Dubai, and then I actually got the final version of the song, the mix, on the plane.
Okay.
On Air Egypt, I think.
Okay.
And so I get to Dubai. It took me like 2 days to get there. And then I get there. I had not slept. I met my cousin. She put me in a little room at the World Trade Center because she was volunteering. She put me in a little room. She turned the lights off. She said, okay, go to sleep. So I slept on the floor of this little prayer room at the World Trade Center in Dubai. And then because we had our sound check that in a few hours from then. So I didn't go back to the hotel and come back. So then we do the sound check, and it was an entire production. There was all the dancers and then the musicians, and then Salim and Suleiman. And this wasn't my first time meeting them because I had performed in their backup choir. I think it was in 2014. So I had met them at that time. Okay. And they're so nice. Like, they were so warm and so welcoming, and Raj is great, and all the musicians were amazing. And, I was really freaking out. Like, I get nervous. But the minute I walked on stage, I forgot everything. Like, I was no longer present in my body.
Wow.
My spirit was in the crowd.
Yeah.
I can't remember being on stage. I look back at the video and I'm like, oh, Farah, you did a pretty good job. But I don't remember being on stage. I remember walking on and I remember walking off. And that was it. Yeah. Whoever was in charge of me at that time, it was somebody else. It wasn't me.
Wow. No, because, when I was in Dubai, when we had the concert or like opening of the Jubilee Games, then because, we knew Salim Suleiman anyways, but we didn't know Farah. So most of the Canadian athletes, and you were talking about who was that? Who was that girl? We never seen her before, ever. Then one of my teammates, I can't remember his name. He said, he was from Ottawa. He said, yes, I know her very well. She's a good friend of mine. I was like, oh, you have to get me in touch with her. That's where, everything happened. And the rest is history now. So, since Jubilee Games Dubai, it was 2016. Now we are to 2020. So in 4 years, what have changed for you?
A lot. The last 4 years there's been a huge amount of transition for me. I've moved several times, and now I am in LA, which was kind of my ultimate goal. I wanted to be in an environment where I felt like people understood what I wanted to do and my passion. And the city is full of creatives. So I feel really, now I feel a bit more settled. I didn't really feel settled until kind of this time last year, because I was moving around and trying to see where I'm going to be and what's going to happen. And so only in the last year have I been able to really settle and focus. So a lot of moving. And then along the way has just been all these devotional songs as I've been figuring out my branding and stuff for my other music. So I haven't really released much. I think I released one song called I Am a Woman. But I haven't released much for my own music aside from the devotional stuff in the last 4 years. And then there's this amazing woman in Toronto. I don't know if she's watching right now, but Begum Walji, she heard Guide the Way and she was like, okay, that's it. We're taking this song. I'm sending it to council. We're going to make a video. Her and her husband drove to Ottawa to film Azim and I in the studio to make that video. And then we stayed up all night, I think maybe once or twice, editing it with all the footage that she was able to get. And then she was like, why don't you write another one? And why don't you write another one? And then she put me on for TIC in 2017, which I think there was 30,000 people there or something. It was insane. And so I'd specifically written so I wrote Celebrate the Light for the TIC performance because we wanted something more upbeat and a little more energetic for people to do fast RAS to. And then just before that, I had performed at the Partnership Walk and I had done it all a cappella with these amazing singers. So then there was Guide the Way, then there was Celebrate the Light, which she also filmed the video for. And And then I wrote I Surrender because now Jubilee Arts was coming along. And people were messaging me, can I sing Guide the Way? Can I sing Guide the Way? And originally I wasn't going to participate, but everybody kept asking me to participate. So I was going to sing Guide the Way. And my cousin, she's got a beautiful voice. So she was like, well, what can I sing? I'm like, I'll just write you another song. And that's when I wrote I Surrender. So her and her friend performed that at Jubilee Arts. And that's a song that I'm working on finishing now. And then Begum again. All these songs come out because of Begum, because she asks for it and then it just comes. For the IVC 100 celebration in December, she was like, she calls me on like a Sunday, I think. And I'm flying to Canada on the Thursday morning. And Sunday, this is like late Sunday night. She's like, can you write me a song for the IVC 100? I was like, I have to pack and I have a lot of things to do this week, but sure, let me just try. I'll sit down and try. No promises, but I'll try. Yeah. And I'm like, when do you need it by? She's like, yesterday. So within 2 days, I was able to, within 24 hours, really, I was able to record it, write it, send it to her. And then she was like, since you're coming here, can you just perform it on Friday night? I was like, sure. So she's really been instrumental in helping get these songs out to people. I really have to thank her for that. And then everybody else who's just been sharing it and all the comments. I know my mom it was so funny. My mom told me that this one guy in Ottawa came to her and said, my kids will not eat their vegetables until I play Guide the Way. Oh my God. The same guy told me that when we were doing Rilla. Or no, Jubilee Arts. I ran into him at Jubilee Arts and he was like, my kids won't eat their vegetables until they hear your song. And so, that the last 4 years for me has been transition and discovery, I would say.
MashaAllah. Okay, there are so many people watching. I'm going to take few names, including Norm Jamal. She said hi to you.
Yeah, she's such an amazing.
Nazan Salim, Zora Qasam, Shela, Shafiq, Farzana, Tamiz, Salima, Jahangir, Tabriz, from Vancouver, Leila, Salima, Shahir, Munira, Ali, Nizar Karim, Sami. There's so many people are watching. Thank you everyone for watching. And there are so many comments that are coming. I'm going to post one by one. So of course, these 4 years, so you had one of the, let me ask you this. For since Jubilee Games, and as you know, His Highness, he's putting so much efforts in games and music. Mm-hmm. Then we heard about Jubilee Arts, and you were part of, and again, you were blessed to be part of the Jubilee Arts special, like a theme song. So let me play that for you. Then we'll have a few stories about that as well. How's this sound?
Sure.
Okay, so let's play a little bit Jubilee Arts song, guys. Let me just go back a bit.
Written and composed by the amazing Farhan Shah, I might say.
Yes. Jubilee Arts. There we go.
It is my pleasure to welcome the composer, producer, and one of the singers of the Jubilee Arts song, Farhan Shah, along with singers Sabah Rajani, Ruhin Adatia, and Farah Mitha, who will now deliver a live performance of the Jubilee Arts song.
Talking about you on the line, a different beat inside your mind. Every time you shake things up, tell them what you want to say. Paint it with the light of day. Let them see it through your eyes. Through your eyes. Your heart can see a million views. Your dancing feet know what to do. Your eyes reveal a story from our soul. Never know. Boom, da 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 ya. The world is boom, da 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 ya. Oh, boom, da 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 ya. Boom, da 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 ya. We touch you, but you love. Yeah. I'm
Wow. So what was that experience? If you can tell us, like our listeners and viewers.
That was definitely one of the best experiences of my life. Working with Farhan, Sabah, and Ruhin was amazing. I knew Sabah from Ottawa. I had just met Farhan, I think a week or two before that, because he had performed in Ottawa, and my dad had been kind of chaperoning him around the city and said, yo, you really got to come to Farhan's concert. It's a Sufi concert. And it's not typically what I would have gone to at Kane, but I wanted to meet him. And he's an incredible artist, incredible. And I just like fell in love with his voice. And we were speaking after, and he was like, are you performing at Jubilee Arts? And I said, no, I don't think so, but I am coming to do some songwriting workshops and some performance workshops and performance coaching.
Yeah.
So that was my intention for going. And so I get there, and he's like, one of my singers couldn't get a visa to come to perform for the song. Will you do it? I said, sure. And he's like, but you have to sing the Arabic part. I was like, no problem. I could pull that off. And he was like, okay, so I know you could pull it off. I'm sure you can, but they have to watch you. So I think I had maybe like an hour to learn and perfect the song and the words. And so I it was one of the busiest times of my life, but it was unbelievable. So I'm like trying to learn these words and I'm getting all tongue twisted, but luckily it worked out. And so I got to perform on stage with them for all 3 finale nights plus the 2 nights. But I'll tell you a funny story. So the last night, the finale night, when I'm supposed to sing pretty much my first line, I made the mistake of looking directly at Prince Raheem, and I just blanked out. And so you could barely tell, but I was just a second late for my first line, which was in Arabic. And I've done this a few times, so I've recovered, and you probably wouldn't have noticed, but that's why I was laughing just now watching, because I looked at him and I was like, whoa, he was right in front. So that's kind of a behind the scenes funny story.
Yeah. And, speaking of Farhan, let me tell you this, he'll be on my show next Saturday.
Perfect. Yeah. Farhan's amazing. For anybody watching that doesn't know Farhan, he is such a rock star. But he's a Sufi rock star. He's got the most beautiful, soulful, emotive voice. It's unbelievable. And we've been collaborating on some stuff here and there, and we plan on doing a lot more. He's definitely been one of my favorite artists to work with.
Nice. Yeah. So he'll be on, guys. So he'll be on my show next Saturday, 11 o'clock Calgary time, and of course I'll be posting a post on everything. So for now, His Highness is doing so much for sports and music and arts and everything. So if I ask you for Farah, Mitha, what do you think about this thing? And His Highness is doing so much for these two, especially for these two arts and games. So in a personal view or personal future, what's your planning now? Are you thinking to at least go with your devotional songs as well?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So my belief has always been that your spirituality is very intricately and tightly linked to your creativity. So this emphasis now on sports and music, I think, is a beautiful and very forward-thinking, smart way to re-engage youth. I think in the last few years, there's been a bit of a drop-off. There's been cultural differences, language barriers, all of that. So I think this is brilliant. And I feel like my devotional music has the part that it plays is hopefully re-engaging the youth. So taking a style that, I grew up with and they grew up with in a different, like in our language, in English or in French or whatever, and fusing the messages that our parents and our elders have been trying to teach us, all these beautiful spiritual messages, and putting them into these pop songs. So I think that's where I feel I can contribute, and I 100% plan on continuing that. I think my plan right now is to put together a devotional EP, because now I've written 4 for specifically devotional songs. And then plus some of my other music also falls within these themes. And it's always been a dream of mine that these kind of songs will make it on the Billboard charts or will get 1 million hits on YouTube or something like that, as opposed to maybe what you'll hear on the radio right now.
Yeah.
So I definitely plan on continuing to contribute that way and collaborating with these amazing artists I've been introduced to along the way. Even Rilla,
Yeah, I would ask you that now. Yeah.
which was incredible to be able to be like the lead of that, one of the leads of that, and also being one of the singers. So it was such a beautiful, like there was so much in that play even that I didn't know. Yeah. So watching that and being able to portray that character, which was very, very similar to my life too, the ways I had written it's like he had been reading my mind sometimes along my life and the struggles that I'd gone through or sometimes still go through. But I really do think that this emphasis on sports and music is really smart, and it's a great way to re-engage the youth and continue to build our community. I think one of the most valuable assets that we have is our community and the strength in our community, and it's diversifying, especially as we start to involve more non-Ismailis, whether they be spouses or friends, and we are branching out more into mainstream media. People can know more about what we're doing. So it's becoming more diverse, more inclusive, but still retaining that beauty and that specialness of the essence of, what we believe.
Yeah. And all of my guests on Coffee with Jalal show, everyone gets a beautiful mug.
Nice.
In Calgary, you'll get it.
Thank you.
But you have to come to Calgary, though.
Done. As soon as we're allowed to fly again.
So, do you have any plan to sing like Bollywood songs? Do you have ever thought about it?
People ask me that all the time. So I've been so focused on my my other music that I haven't, I know my couple of staple Indian songs like Silsila, Ye Chaatkar, Ke Nahi Kya, Kabhi Kabhi, and my family in England, we go there every few years, and especially last time they give me a whole playlist to learn, so I still have to do that. I really like mashing up English songs and Bollywood songs, but I also love Bollywood songs. They're the kind of melodies and the emotions and the meaning, like you can't even translate it into English. One of the barriers for me is I don't speak Hindi. I can understand a little bit, but I don't speak it. So it's a little bit, it's more time consuming for me to learn.
Right.
But even when I perform here in LA, I do throw in this mashup that I do it's a Michael Jackson song with Silsila. And, I do perform it here to audiences that have no idea what I'm singing, but I want to do more of that.
Yeah.
But I think I'm a ways off from being able to do a full kind of Bollywood performance.
So, why don't we listen a little bit mashup here, if you don't mind?
Sure. Yeah, it'll be a cappella. So this is my favorite Michael Jackson song mixed with my favorite Indian song, which is Silsila.
Okay.
She always takes it with a heart of stone. And when she does, she throws it back to me. I spent a lifetime looking for someone. Don't try to understand me, because your words just aren't enough. Love is a feeling, give it when I want it, 'cause I'm on fire, quench my desire. Talk to me, woman, I don't want to hear it. Yeah, give in to me, give in to me, give in to me. Silsila ye chahat ka na mili bujhni diya. Oh, Silsila ye chahat ka na mili bujhni diya. Oh, piya, ye diya na bujhahi ना बुझेगा मेरे चाहत का दिया. So I'll give you that much, and if you want to hear the whole thing, I'll be performing it tomorrow during my Desi Fest concert.
All right. No, it was beautiful. Wow. So you are multi-talented. I can see that. I can say that. That's a problem. There is a beautiful message from Riz Jadavji, and he's saying, what an incredible opportunity for all the Ismaili talented artists, and his son Liam, so you've been inspiration for him. I think I'm sure he's not the only one. There are so many, like you inspired all of us, including me. I think you just been great. It's an honor for me to have you. It's an honor for me to talk to you. Whenever we talk, it's you like you've been so nice, humble, down to earth. This is amazing.
Oh my God. Everything that's happening around me is so, I feel like it's so separate from me. Like there's me and I look at myself and my life and where I want to be and all that. And I'm just like, I'm so regular. So when I get all these messages of people like listening to the songs, or the other day, this lady from Dubai messaged me and she was like, "You're a star." I'm like, wait, who are you talking to? But so I feel it's surreal, but I feel so blessed that if I can contribute the way I've always dreamed of, I definitely took a path that was not supported or encouraged, or it sometimes looked highly upon, right? So if now it's come full circle and I'm inspiring others, like I don't know, it's almost indescribable as to how fulfilling that is. And I just hope that I can continue to do so.
Yes.
Really, like, sorry, not to interrupt, but I do want to say that like these songs that I write, especially these devotional ones, they come out of me like this.
Yes.
So I don't really feel like it's me writing it. I feel like I'm channeling the messages that we all, including myself, need to hear. When I guide the way, I heard Salim and Suleiman's Diamond Jubilee song, and I was like, oh, this is so beautiful. I feel like I wanted to write something, but then I'm like, how am I going to write something like that? At the time, I wasn't even super engaged in the community, and I hadn't been going to Kanye regularly and all that. So I called like Salim Adnani and Alia Bejawi and Alim Juma, and I was like, can you guys help me write something? Because I don't really know how I'm going to come up with the lyrics. And then the night before our session, actually the morning of, at about 5 or 6 in the morning, and this happens to me often, I wake up with all these lyrics in my head.
Wow.
And I think the night before I'd been like, well, how about I write what I feel lucky about being Ismaili? Like it doesn't have to be about what other people think. What do I feel most lucky about? And for me, it was that we have a guide, a present imam to guide us along the way that speaks to us in a way that makes sense for now. And all along the way, we can all relate to that. So that's what I went to bed with the intention with, and I woke up with all the lyrics. Guide the way, like almost, it was 90% of the lyrics, and I just woke up and I wrote them all out, and then I met up with Alia and Alim, and I started playing some guitar chords, and Alim was playing a bit of stuff on keyboard, and Alia was humming along, and then it came together so fast.
MashaAllah.
Same thing with I Surrender, same thing with Thank You, same thing with Celebrate the Light. It was all so fast. So I can only attribute that to something outside of me.
Yeah. So you let me share, let me share this story. This is the first time I'm going to share with anyone, like especially on air. Like my nana, like my mom's dad, he wrote Noor-e Mubin, like the one is our historical book we have for all our imams.
Wow.
Like my nana, he never went to school, never ever. But he wrote the whole history of our Ismaili imams.
Wow.
So my mom, like my mom's brother, he shared this story with me. So my nana used to get messages in his dream. Go to this library and then he check this book and get the material from that particular book. He wrote the whole Noor-e Mubin. He never went to school.
See, this is giving me shivers because
it's all blessings. You know what? Because what I believe, Maulah's or Allah's work, it won't stop. If you don't do it, then someone else will.
Yeah.
But you've been kind of first, because a choice for Allah. Why don't just run and just take and run? You know what I mean?
And it's funny.
His work won't stop.
Yeah. After the Dubai performance, my cousin and I, we went to kind of relax because she was helping me the whole time get ready and rushing me here and there. Like I could never do any of what I did in Dubai without her. Nafisa, she's been such a blessing, and she's really the one who's been encouraging me to keep going when I feel kind of like, I can't do it anymore. But we were sitting after, we were relaxing, we're having some tea. And I looked up at the sky. It was the most beautiful scenery. It was at night. It was by I don't even know where we were, but I look up at the sky and I told her, I'm like, I just want the universe, Allah, Mullah, whatever anybody believes in, whatever that higher power is, to use me for whatever purpose I'm meant for.
Yeah.
And so when people kind of question, why are you doing this? Why are you struggling? Like I went to school for physiotherapy. Like I have a master's degree in physiotherapy. I was going to go to med school. And so it's very easy to question, why would you sacrifice all that? Why would you sacrifice the money, the stability, all of it to the helping people for this? And all I can say is I'm being led. At some points I've just let go completely and I'm being led, and I can create and I can share. And if all of you, if it resonates with you and you share it and it keeps going, then that's just, I feel like that's just what it was meant to be. So for anybody that can get to that state of letting go and letting yourself be led, this is probably gonna be another song. But yeah, if you can let go and let yourself be led, there's no feeling like it.
Yeah.
No material goods, no amount of money, no amount of praise, no amount of anything can replace that feeling when you know you are aligned with your purpose. And it's easy to question. There are many, many moments when I talk to my guardian angel, and she actually writes through me now. I'm gonna publish a book on this one day, because some of the messages that she kind of writes through me is unbelievable. But I hope and pray that everybody has a chance to experience that kind of alignment, no matter what your life looks like on the outside, because when it's here, again, it's indescribable and it's so pure.
Pure, yeah. No. So before I let you go, what's your last message, or what's your last comments for our viewers and listeners? Yeah.
I would like everybody to tune in to my Desi Fest concert tomorrow, the Sofa Sessions. It'll be at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'll share the link from my page as well, but it'll also be on the Desi Fest page. So that'll be fun if you guys can join me on that. But final thoughts. First of all, thank you so much for having me on your show. And thank you to everybody who's tuned in. There's even artists here that I saw some comments from that are so incredibly talented, like Zaid and Noreen, and obviously Farhan and Zora. Oh my gosh, like I feel so blessed to be in your presence and being able to learn from you guys and watch you guys and all of that as well. But if I have to leave a final message, or what I want people to get across, are really two things. One is kind of what I mentioned before, and that is, find a way, whatever tools you need. And if you need tools, I have many that I've experienced with, so just reach out to me. I will give you some options. But find the tools that allow you to let go and be led.
Yes.
Because like I said, the feeling that you get when you follow that, what they call inspired action, is indescribable. And two, a lot of you know this already, but I like to think of us all as fireflies. And anything you can do to help yourself shine brighter, you automatically help others shine brighter. So if we can all just create a world full of fireflies, I feel like my purpose is to be a firefly igniter. So if we all have our light within us, and if I can just inspire you to ignite it and have it burn brightly, then I feel like I've done my job. And for you to just do that to the next person, the next person, and the next person. And then, like, my goal is, before I die, I want a world full of fireflies. And that's the way we'll make the world a brighter place.
Oh, so nice of you. Thank you so much, Farah. It was an honor. It was fun. We'll do it again soon, inshallah. Can't wait to, get you back again. And,
I always have so much to talk about. And stay tuned for Zaina. She's amazing. She was also in Rilla. She's a beautiful person and a beautiful dancer. So definitely stay tuned to watch her too.
And yeah, because, both of you were at the Jubilee Games on the stage.
She was in Jubilee Games too. Oh my God, she's such a beautiful dancer. Yeah, she was so amazing to her. Like, when I got to see her more up close and work with her up close in Rilla, that was when I was able to see hers and Shirin's like raw talent, like in the rehearsals. And she'd even sprained her ankle at one point, and I was treating her during the rehearsals. Poor girl. But the way she even dances with a sprained ankle was unbelievable. She's mesmerizing.
Yeah, sugar. So again, thanks again, and inshallah we'll be in touch. If you have any new project coming up, please let us know. We'll get and we'll advertise. I think love to do this. If you can.
Look out for a devotional EP sometime in the future. I'm working on it bit by bit, so hopefully I'll be able to get all that stuff up on Spotify and Apple Music and out to you guys on my website. So look out for that if you have any.
And what's your page and what's your YouTube channel if you want to give some information?
Yes. Okay. So right now everything is under at I am Farah Mitha. So Farah with one R, Mitha, M-I-T-H-A. YouTube, you'll just have to type in Farah Mitha. I'm trying to get that customized channel right now. I had to let go of my other one, so there's a bit of administrative stuff I need to figure out. But yeah, if you just type in Farah Mitha, Google, YouTube. If you can follow me on Instagram and on Facebook, then you'll be the first to know when I'm releasing new things. Or my website, iamfarahmitha.com. You can subscribe to the newsletter. I'll be restarting all that very soon, and then you'll get free stuff and maybe little things, exclusive snippets and things that other people don't get. So as usual, I love the support. And like I said, if these things are resonating with you, they might resonate with other people. So please keep sharing and letting people know. And if it helps, great. Like then I'm fulfilled, and my purpose is fulfilled. So. Okay,
Begum Walji is watching. So she said you are a gem.
Did she just start watching? I gave her all the comments and she just started watching. Yeah, Begum, I have to thank you so much for everything. Really, none of this would be possible without you, especially Guide the Way. The amount of people that have been able to hear it have been because of you. I don't know if Rishma Pira is watching, but if she's watching, she was one of the first people in Ottawa, Kane, to encourage me to follow my dreams, like to pursue singing, where everybody else was saying, don't do it. Rishma Pira was the one who said why not? Try. And she's actually Alia Bejawi's mom. Alia is another incredible artist to look out for. And then my cousin Nafisa. I don't know where I'd be right now without her. She's probably sleeping right now because she's in the UK. But she, I don't know. And then all of you who share it and comment and give me your feedback and show up for the concerts, it just doesn't happen without you guys there. So I want you to know how much from the bottom of my heart, even if it's just one of you watching and one of you that cares in that moment, it means so much. So please stick around, keep watching, keep supporting. I love it. And sending love right back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Farah. It's an honor again. Inshallah, we'll do it again. And all the best to you.
Thank you. You as well.
Thank you. So guys, one and only Farah Mitha from Malib. Thank you so much.